Hi, I'm Eric Roaring.
And I'm Katie Roaring. We're the founders of Fontana Candle Company. In 4 years, we scaled our candle making from our kitchen and then our basement, and now we are in this 6,500 square foot facility with 11 employees. Yep. And we're here to share what we learned so you can scale your candle company too.
Figured we'd try a new venue rather than the spare bedroom in our house and actually move it to the shop floor so you guys can kind of get an idea of where we work.
So I guess this video was supposed to be, how was Q1? What's the climate of 2024 so far this year?
Q1 was tough. It was slow.
I think we need to preface this video that it's the first week of May. We're shooting the first week of May. We wanted to shoot this video for a couple weeks now, and I would say my answer of how it's going now is very different than right after Q1.
Q1 was tough.
Q1 was terrible.
Yes, it was very slow. We had minimal sales. I think we were actually right on par with what we were doing last year at the same time.
I think we were 15 to 20% above what we did on our Shopify last year. But the thing that was so painful for us and what made us really nervous for a while was we were spending so much more this year on marketing.
Yeah.
Like our marketing spend is what, 3 or 4 times what it was last year?
Q1 last year, I think we didn't have any basically on like pay-per-click.
Yeah, we didn't have like Facebook ads running last time this year. And then this year we were running 10,000 a month on Facebook ads, and we were barely doing
any better than
last year. Yeah. So we were really nervous for a couple weeks.
It was a slow start to the year, that's for sure.
And you hear it from other brands. I mean, I follow a lot of e-commerce and marketing podcasts, and everyone was saying, I want to say March and April, they were all like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Are Facebook ads dead? Is meta advertising dead? Like that was the word on the marketing street.
Yeah.
And we truly were feeling it, but not to the extent as some of these 8-9 figure brands.
Growth for us compared to them is different. I mean, 10% on $10 million a year is a big number versus 10% on $1 million. We scaled up in our expenses for this new space, for the more employees, for the new softwares, all the marketing expenses. That blows up an extra $100,000 a year really fast. Mm-hmm. And so where we were expecting our growth to be this year in the first quarter compared to our spend was just not there. It wasn't a comparison.
No, and even on the organic side, because we do so much organic social, and we do have a videographer who specializes in organic social, that was doing nothing.
No.
Like we were doing all these reels, and it was like, hello, is anyone out there?
Conversion was normal, but our visitors to the website were, compared to Q1 of 2023, very similar. Mm-hmm. So it's like the traffic just kind of died. I don't know if people weren't even looking to shop or what it was, but it was just abysmal.
And you would hear it, besides the podcast, just in the news, you see business after business announcing closures.
Scale backs, selling stores, all that stuff. It was bad. And talking to a lot of people, we heard probably half a dozen times, it's an election year, it's an election year, it's an election year. And everything goes slow on an election year, which, okay.
And then we have some business mentors, and the one was like, do people really stop buying candles because of an election year? I mean, it's not like it's a huge purchase. No. It's not like you're buying a car. Right. Like, okay, yeah, you probably, in an election year, might want to think twice about a really large purchase, a home, a car, but a candle.
And that's the part the election is so macroeconomic to me that it has no bearing on the way we spend money. It's how comfortable are we in our jobs or our business, in our life? Do we have any surgeries or expenses coming up? To me, that's a weird a weird thing to hang your hat on of why the economy is slow or feels slow, but we heard it half a dozen times, and it's easy to say, okay, well, it's not us, it's an election, it's not us.
And it's easy to get discouraged and just be like, all right, well, nothing works, I'm gonna stop trying.
Yeah.
But I think we even dug deeper, like, what can we do and what can we do different to grow different areas of our business? Okay, say e-com is slow right now. What can we do to look at jumpstarting our wholesale?
Yeah, I think that's one of the cool things with looking at businesses that has survived is the adaptability of businesses where, okay, Q1 for us was really slow, so what are we going to do? Well, what did we do? We said, okay, we're going to refocus on candles. We're going to try growing our wholesale.
Well, you have to take a step back. We do other products. So we do room sprays, soaps, bath salts. And our business advisors said, guys, look at your books. Your numbers clearly show you where you need to be focusing. Stop wasting your time and your resources on these other products and hone in on the candles.
I think last year, in 2023, we sold 1.6 million in candles, and we had 1.7 in total sales, or 1.8 in total sales.
30,000 was room sprays, 19,000 was bath salts, and they're like, guys, what are you doing?
We spent and we do spend a ton of time on formulating, on procurement of raw materials for specific room sprays and stuff. We have spots in the shop for it. We have people who that's one of their main jobs is making those. So we're spending a lot of time and effort and money on these other products that didn't go anywhere and were more of a distraction. And that's going into this slowdown that we've seen in Q1 has allowed us to take a step back and say, okay, what are we doing with our business?
What works? What clearly works?
Where should we put our energy? And it came pretty quick to, we need to really focus on candles.
Well, I think we realized we needed to cut back spend because we were spending way too much every month. And it's like, okay, what should we be spending? What gives us the best return? So yeah, cutting development of the ancillary items.
So we were working on 2 or 3 other products that we've just completely dropped. And that's spending thousands of dollars in formulating, testing, researching.
Well, it helps me out because I just felt so frazzled and pulled in so many directions as the director of marketing. Like, the marketing team is in-house, it's me and Cheyenne. So me and my assistant, Cheyenne. And then, of course, we have a bunch of contractors. But the product development, it's like the candles were an afterthought. And it was like, oh my gosh, fall's coming. We need a new fall candle. Can we formulate one and get it ready in a month? Because we were so focused on lip balms instead of candles. Whereas this year, I feel like we can breathe, and we've been creating and formulating really awesome candles because we've been focusing on the candles.
Well, because I do most of our product development and formulations, and now not having to worry about body butter, I can focus on, okay, what is our next scent? What new vessels should we get into? Do we need to play with tube wicks versus flat wood wicks? And that's allowed me to be able to focus back on candles and start developing new things again for our candle line, which is where we make all of our money. And so...
And it's what our customer's been saying.
It's what our customer wants. And so by not being distracted with all of the other stuff we want to do, we're going to refocus on our business of candles and develop and expand that product line.
We also had some really cool opportunities this year. Can't talk about them because we did sign NDAs, but we were able to take glimpses into other candle companies and how they operate, and it gave us a lot of insight. Like, we can see other product extensions in the candle category that we can bring on.
Well, and we had all these ideas before, like tea lights and beeswax, 100% beeswax pillars, but tapers,
birthday candles.
And seeing all of these other businesses doing it, relit the fire of, okay, let's refocus on our candles. Because I remember playing with tea lights last year. Before we launched the Mini, we were working on tea lights. And there was a business that makes a ton of tea lights and sells a ton of tea lights. So it's like, okay, let's refocus. There's still growth for us in candles. We don't have to be distracted by other products.
And it's not like we wanted to be distracted. We were hoping that the other products would ease the seasonality of our business.
We weren't working on other products because we were getting bored with candles.
No.
It was that candles were so seasonal, it was so hard to run the business with that seasonality that it was, all right, let's see something that would sell in May, June, July, when candles are really slow. Let's see if we can make another product that would fill that gap. But it didn't really work out that way. And so rather than trying to spend more resources on growing those products, we're going to refocus back on candles.
And seeing some of the other candle companies' successes, they're having success in June and July and all. We always do okay in August because
candles are
coming back. But June and July, you can have success in candle businesses. And I think we didn't really realize that before.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true.
Because we thought the other products would save us.
So Q1 was really bad, but then...
I mean, when you say really bad...
It wasn't to our projections.
Yes.
And we didn't see growth in Q1 like we've seen Q1 in every other year.
Right.
And so...
It's not like we were going to go out of business bad.
No,
but
it just didn't hit our growth.
And it was enough to make us say, okay, we need to do some pivoting for Q2 because we can't have another quarter like this.
Yes. So April came along and we had a really big collaboration launch.
We did.
And that was huge for us.
It was a huge success.
It was Black Friday level.
Yes.
And
twice. Because it sold out the first time in 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then we relaunched it with a much bigger batch, a week later?
Yep.
And then that sold out in 24 hours. Yep. I mean, the volume is there.
Volume's there.
It's just, what does your customer, what does your audience really want?
Yep.
Are you giving them what they really want because they are willing to spend it if they really want it?
Yeah, I would say April really turned around. April was the best month we've had aside from October,
Holiday.
November, December. Yeah, it was a huge month. I think we did almost 200,000 in sales in April, which is unheard of for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really good turnaround. The launch was a huge part of it, but then also being able to, going back to our original piece of the conversation of being able to refocus our efforts on R&D, we were able to turn that candle around much faster after we put resources on it because we weren't being distracted by formulating body butter.
That candle took us a while. We were working on that since last October because we were distracted.
We were distracted, and it took so long to formulate.
We did an April Fool's joke. We did a reel, and we were like, here's our new scent, sourdough starter, because we're in the health and wellness space, and sourdough is huge right now. And this was back when we weren't getting any engagement in social. And that reel exploded. I think that reel got 50 or 60,000 views, and there were hundreds of comments like, no, we really want this to be a candle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when it's like, okay, we focused and said, it was a joke, but can we really make this we use only essential oils, can we really make this candle? And that's when we focused, and you did that formulation in 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think we started quick testing 2 to 3 weeks after.
So we turned that around, and it'll be ready to launch probably the first week of June.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of our quickest candle launches.
That was a quick one.
And it's going to be the same volume, I think, as the launch we just had.
That would be awesome.
So do you really have what your audience wants? I think that's my takeaway from this year so far.
Yeah, it's having what your customer wants, being able to have the time to listen to what they want, and focusing in on what you're doing best. It's the 80-20 rule again. And we were spending so much time on ancillary products that we were trying to build.
And
and money,
Yeah.
effort,
With
and everything.
custom packaging.
Yep. That we did get distracted from candles, and having that slow start of the year allowed us to step back and say, okay, what's not working?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good effort to try those products. I'm glad we tried
Mm-hmm.
them.
We did make some lovely products.
We did.
And we're not going to axe them all.
No. But we're gonna shelve some of them for the time being and let the company grow organically and
Until we have more resources.
until we have more resources and we have a broader pool of people to reach out to, that we are more known and are trusted and
Or
recognized.
Yeah, just a bigger brand.
Just a bigger brand, that when we do reintroduce the room sprays, we're not, oh, this candle company is now doing room sprays. It's more Fontana is releasing.
But I think our main issue wasn't, they weren't huge successes like our candles, but it came down to our manufacturing process. Do we invest in scaling the manufacturing of these products, or do we shelve them?
I don't know that we ever got to the point of having to scale the manufacturing, though.
But it's wasting the time of our employees
It
when
is.
they should be making candles.
It is.
Because we have such limited resources.
Yes.
Should we be hand bagging salts because we can't afford to invest in the huge machine that automatically bags? It's a waste of time.
And the demand wasn't there to
Yeah.
justify it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it wasn't a horse before the cart. It's just not there. So we're not going to invest in the equipment to make it more efficient, to make a ton more stuff that we're not going to sell.
So instead, we're investing in our candle making equipment. Like Eric he went up to New York to meet with Cougar,
Yep.
and you put a down payment on a Cougar machine.
Which is an automatic pumping, filling system for the candles. So that will be a huge efficiency for us.
We have to scale the candle manufacturing.
And focus on candle manufacturing.
I think also from this year, we started out having 2 new advisors, mentors, whatever you want to call them, and they've just brought so much insight that we didn't have before.
Yeah, it's like we've plugged SCORE many a times. If you don't have a SCORE mentor yet, get one. But also, if you have a friend or a family member or cousin, whoever, who's done business before, see if you can have coffee with them. See if they will just talk to you. Because most of the people that we've talked to who want and who have done this kind of a business before or done business love talking about it.
Yeah, they want to help.
They want to help.
And especially if they're retired, they want to get involved in something.
They love it. We reach out to our mentors now
all
the time, and they respond instantly.
Yeah.
Because they love just talking business. So don't ever be afraid to ask for advice from somebody. They love talking business.
And the 2 that we have now, they have grown massive companies.
Massive, $100 million companies.
Massive. So they are just challenging us to think in ways that we've never thought of before.
Yeah.
So we've always said get a mentor, but I think the quality of the mentor is important.
That's very important, but you also don't know the quality until you start talking to them. So just start conversations with people. Even if it is another candle maker or someone who makes a beverage, whatever. Someone who's in business that you can commiserate with, bounce ideas off of, anything like that. It's important.
It can be lonely running a business.
It's very lonely.
It's important to reach out.
Yeah, it's very lonely.
Ask for help when you need it.
So Q1 was rough. Q2 has started out pretty well.
It's been amazing.
Yes. And we're going to continue to try and refocus our company back to candles and our efforts on candles and making candle making more efficient for us. So we really are trying to focus on our labor costs by making candles more efficiently, more cleanly.
Driving down costs of supplies.
Yep, we're really focusing on procurement and trying to buy in scale now, more so, and really working on efficiencies. So if you found this episode helpful or insightful at all, please drop a comment. Let us know if you have any other suggestions for other episodes or questions. Please let us know. We love hearing from you guys, knowing that somebody actually listens to this. So please let us know.
Thanks, guys.